Hi everyone, this is Rachel, and I'm here with another episode of Lift and Sketch from Christy and Rachel. This time we are using this sketch by Laura Whitaker, and I did not stick with the sketch completely. Instead, what I did is I took my silhouette and I used a cut file of a simple star within a circle, and then I repeated it a whole bunch of times. So instead of that giant star that's in the original sketch, I went with a bunch of little stars and a cut file, and also using some mixed media. I gessoed everything on my silhouette mat, and now I'm taking my Prima watercolors, and I'm just doing a very messy circle, or maybe a couple of circles together in this aqua color, and then in this real blue color, and then also in gray, and then a mix of the red and the pink to kind of give it an orangey pink look. So I'm not going to make you watch me do 5,000 circles. I'm going to cut away in just a second. I did do all of this on my silhouette mat. I was inspired by Missy Whitten. I don't think I was as successful as she is with it, but I'm happy with the end. I will fully admit that this layout took forever to do, between cutting it on my silhouette and then doing the gesso and then the mixed media, and then I do some paper piecing behind the thing, and I use my dazzlers with a stencil. Plus I had a hard time with this layout altogether coming together correctly. It was just, honestly, even just to start this layout, this was a sketch that Christy picked, and it was just a tough one for me. I will be completely honest, it took me a long time to do it. We're actually going up a week later because I asked her if she wouldn't mind, because I was having a hard time creatively getting in the head of this layout. Now, obviously, I didn't force myself to do it. If I really didn't like it, I'm pretty sure Christy would have said, no, it's okay, we can choose another one. And I really did like the sketch. It just wasn't one that came super easy to me. All right, let's go back to the actual layout as opposed to the mindset behind my brain here. All right, so I have pulled my layout off the silhouette pad, and I did have one tiny rip because of course I couldn't possibly wait until it was completely dry. I had to rip it off before it was completely dry, and I pulled out all the stars that are go in the center, and those are going to come into work later. Now I used my 2-inch circles and punched out different pattern papers from Studio Calico, Print Shop, Basic Ray, Urban Luxe, and oh sugar, what was the third one? Oh, Glitz Designs 77, and Xanthe 8 through my ATG, once again, grr. I did cut away from a bunch of this because it's very, very, very repetitive of me putting all the pattern papers behind the paper, and then I did grab a piece of very thin chipboard, stuff that comes when you buy something online. It comes in the paper to keep it from bending. I keep probably about a dozen pieces of it, just in case I do a heavy mixed media and I need to back my layout. It did buckle quite a bit. Once it goes in my album and it's there for a while, I'm quite sure it will flatten out perfectly well. And Xanthe's getting very annoying at this point. She almost knocked all of my enamel dots over, so I decided, she's got to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the chipboard laid down on my layout. And it's not going to be perfect, as I said, but as I mentioned before, it really does. Once it's flat in my album, it'll be fine. So I'm taking these stars, and what I'm doing is I'm not putting them back with the same color. Instead, I'm putting them back with different colors. So if it was originally in the pink paint, now I put an aqua one in the center of the pink paint. And I'm just checking with my photo, seeing which ones I don't need to bother putting one in. And now I cut away because I am gluing them all down. And as I said, this layout happened to have a lot of repetition in it. As I mentioned before, I really did like the layout in the end. The process of it wasn't my absolute favorite. Okay, so I had found this little cut apart in the Glitz Designs 6x6 paper pad, and when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's perfect, and it's facing in the right direction. Yay, I love it when that happens. It's so much fun when, it's so much fun when it actually faces in the direction you want it to. So it's like, yippee, yay! And then I pull out this scrap of paper I had left over from cutting a circle from the Basic Gray Urban Deluxe 6x6 paper pad that I used as well. Now I remembered I wanted to add a little bit of wet glue to my photo because I have so much mixed media going on. It's important that I am able to add that, otherwise I'm a little scared that the photo will pop off. I pull out these Fitzgerald silver glitter thickers from the I was trying to say the font is Fitzgerald, and then I pull out these gray puffy stickers, and these are from Felicity Jane, and I did not get, as I mentioned before, I don't buy the kits, but when sometimes she'll have a sale, and I'll go ahead and purchase some odds and ends. So I purchased these, and then I put the year down at the bottom, only it's actually the wrong year. It's actually 2016, not 2015. I did the thing where I said, oh, this was last year, forgetting it's 2017. Goofball. Okay, moving on. I'm going to do my journaling, and I'm going to kick the cat off once again. And I take this other cut apart, and I just trim off the little bottom. So it's just a aqua outlined box rather than having that take note at the bottom. Just didn't work for me. And I'm just going to write my journaling, and it's just about how my parents always try to come to my nephew's concerts, even though he has 4 a year, which is, you know, a bit much. And they don't always make every single one, but they give it a good shot. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down at the bottom there under the year. And then I've got a couple of these stars left. I had put some to the side just in case I needed some extra ones. So I decided to slip one underneath the journaling there. And now I'm looking to get the element in the sketch, which is that piece of paper going lengthwise down the right-hand side of the page. And I look through the Urban Luxe first, but I decide on these black and white plus signs from the Studio Calico Print Shop 6x6 paper pad. And because I've got, I'm using 6x6 paper pads, I'm trying to look for a pattern that will line up. So that's what took me forever, and then I had to trim things off properly because I was trying to match the plus signs up, because obviously it would drive me insane if they didn't line up. I'm quite sure 9 times out of 10 I wouldn't even notice, but for some reason this time it really was going to bug me if I didn't get it absolutely perfect. I even had to pull back out the big trimmer to get it absolutely perfect. And I'm going to start to glue this down, and then I'm going to realize, no, you put the one you wanted at the bottom at the top, and when I go to line the bottom one up, I realize that. So I'm going to peel that back off, put the other one down, and at this point, it actually, I think it works out. Does it work out? Do I have to do it again? No, one more time. One more time. Has to be perfect. Okay, there we go. Yay, success, happiness, woo! All right, and it's time to pull out the embellishments. I've got these wood buttons with the epoxy stickers in them, and those are from an older Dear Lizzie. And then I pull out this wood veneer banner, and that is from Studio Calico. And I'm going to think about doing an embellishment cluster in that upper right-hand side of the photo, but I'm going to change my mind and instead just keep it down by the journaling, above and around the title, and then over by the wood veneer banner. I'm trying to find a flare piece to go with that, and I decide on this multicolor chevron flare piece. And this wood veneer banner is a little bent, just from natural. That's the way it is in my little box of wood veneer. So I'm trying to hold it down. I'm not completely successful, but it winds up okay in the end. I'm looking for another flare, and I find I have that exact same chevron multicolor piece. I'm like, you know what, that would be perfect. So I pop that on over down by my title, along with that ampersand wood veneer, and then I decide, oh, you know, it'd be perfect, one of the extra stars. Okay, we are almost finished here. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. Please make sure you go over and check out Christy's layout. I know she has already got hers up. I am running a bit late. I'm actually recording this on the Sunday it's going up, and When I say this one was a rough one for me, it was a rough one for me. Now, originally I picked out some Heidi Swapp color shines to use as some misting droplets, but I remember I have the Ginny B Blue in my Shimmers paints, and I have the Concrete in my Shimmers paints, which is a gray color, and I'm like, you know what, I think I'm just going to go with all Shimmers. So I add, as I mentioned, the Concrete and the Ginny B Blue, and then I go ahead and also add some Mango Tango, which is an orangey pink color, and that's going to finish my layout for today. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me. I am so happy you guys watched my channel. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Thank you guys for all your likes. Thank you for your comments. I really, really appreciate them. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.